jQuery 3.0, which isn't even out yet.
No,
It's in alpha?
It's in alpha as of July 13th, 2015. A month ago?
Yeah, that's Have they done a release game for it?
Sorry?
Have they done a release game for it?
No. At least not that I was just on their blog today. So, so we're here. If it seems like I'm totally disorganized, I just got back from vacation last night. I'm still in vacation mode.
You may have
Oh, there it
the
goes.
function where you have to switch.
I'm doing it. Guys, I really am a technical person. Hey, there's me, but not my view. Okay. Y'all get to see wedding pictures. Okay.
10 minutes of money.
There it is. I kept it on it.
Here we are on the boat.
That's all.
That's my husband's name.
Start a slideshow.
Far right.
Far right. Far right.
Keep going.
Right to the right of the blue shirt. See the blue shirt there? Now left. One more.
Okay. Come on. You can do it.
There. Yeah.
Okay. Well, quite a good beginning. So, I'm Annye Driscoll. I'm a consultant for Sugeti. I don't have my notes in front of me yet. Gosh. Did anyone else go to Gen Con? No one? What? Gen Con? It's a big gaming convention that was this weekend. I'm like totally still in gaming mode. Okay, so jQuery 3.0, it went into alpha, like I said, in July. It's generally like some really cool changes, but not changes that's going to break anything. But there is one thing that really could break code, and that was kind of why I was like, this would be a cool thing to present. So speaking of breaking code, there's a plugin that they've made that will identify compatibility issues that you can run.
In two versions, one which is backwards compatible.
Yes, it's on the screen.
Oh.
So the 3.0 release is actually two releases. It's 3.0, which is IE9 and beyond, and then it's jQuery Compact 3.0, which is for IE8.
Is that the name? Compact?
Yes, and I checked that multiple times. Unless they have a typo in their blog post, it's actually Compact.
So are they gonna be supporting 2.x for even legacy older IEs? Or are they gonna?
It's IE8.
That's the lowest they're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe a good decision.
Yeah.
So this is a big one that I think people might actually be relevant to a lot of people. So we all, or at least I, have this mental model that .show and .hide is really simple. Like all it does is sets CSS display done or takes it off. But it's actually gotten to this point where it's been overdeveloped. Like the .show and .hide have been overdeveloped. Like there were so many fringe cases, and we had to account for this, and we had to account for that. And eventually these little functions that should be really simple became resource intensive, and they don't always work because there are so many like little bits of code that don't make any sense anymore. And I mean, basically at this point they're just bad functions. So in jQuery 3.0, they're kind of taking this radical approach of reverting them completely. Now, all .show and .hide are going to do is set the display in CSS, and that's all. They're not going to account for fringe cases. They're not going to code for anything extra. It's just going to be this one simple function. So that's pretty cool, I think. Sort of minimalist. And there's still ways to get around. You know, if you want to use a style sheet to set your display or whatever, you can still do that. Just don't use these anymore. Anyway, that's the big one that I think is actually relevant to a lot of people. So if you happen to use these in your code, don't blindly upgrade to jQuery 3.0. Make sure you use some first.
So you're saying they're not going to support these functions?
No, they're taking out all of this crap that these functions had been just filled with and just streamlining them completely. All they're going to do now is set the display or clear the display.
So my question is, if you're showing something off the bat without hiding it first, like it's already hidden,
Yeah.
It can be hidden many ways, not only with display none, through whatever means.
Right.
So how are you going to show it if clearing the display not necessarily is going to bring it back? I don't know. Might be a little too...
I mean, that's the thing, right, is that they try to account for all of these fringe cases, and the code got slow, and it got buggy, and it didn't work anymore. So now, if you want to use .show and .hide, you're going to have to do a little bit of re-engineering, or not upgrade. So I know it's like, you know, pros and cons. You're losing some functionality, but you're also gaining better code.
Right, and
Arguably.
performance as well.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So that's a big thing. They're updating the .data names to match the HTML5 dataset specification, which basically just means that their camel case and digits no longer participate in conversion. So most of these things are like extremely specific, not going to apply to a lot of people. This is sort of relevant to our previous discussions. jQuery deferred is now promises compliant. So they changed a couple things. A .then callback is now a rejection value, and the callbacks are always invoked asynchronously, plus a couple other little things, and that made the deferred compliant with the promises, A+ promises. There's like a special list of things that you have to be compliant with in order to get registered or whatever you do. Promises. Next. This is basically also aligning with promises. They've removed some special cases as more people embrace promises in their daily work. Oh, this is kind of funny. So, sorry. Historically, jQuery has had some return values that don't really make sense. Like the example that they gave was if you ask for the offset of a window, it actually returns. It's not a top of 0 and a left 0. A window doesn't have an offset, so that response doesn't make any sense. Well, now questions like functions like this will have an error return instead of a nonsensical return. This one's really useful too. The width and height functions no longer round when it's relevant. So if you need that precision, it's there now.
So like rounding to the nearest pixel, for example, they're trying to find out how wide something is.
Well, it was rounding to the nearest whole value. So yeah, maybe it is pixel. I'm not sure. I was just thinking in terms of decimal values, but yeah. Oh yeah, this one's cool. On platforms which support it, animations can use request animation frame. They had previously tried to implement this, and it turned out to not work at all. And it's cool now. Their solution was that they pause animations when the tab is not in focus, which I think is sort of a clever solution. But it's going to greatly increase animation like load time, and also make them less battery intensive, which I think these solutions, they're so cool to me. Really cool. A couple little things. There were some internal methods that they had used like within their company that weren't private. So they made them private so we can no longer use them. Unwrap takes an argument so you can tell it exactly what to unwrap. And then custom selectors have been sped up. So like if you're using visible selector multiple times in one document, they figured out some algorithm to speed it up significantly. And that's all. Any questions?
Did you, I think I said that, but did you, I guess one of the cautious is not using jQuery I'm showing that.
Yeah.
You can talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
In fact, you can still use it, and you should, because it's a lot better now. It's a lot, I don't know, maybe the industry decision is that we're not going to use it anymore, but it seems like they've taken out all the bull now, and it's safe to use now. And fast.
They pushed everybody to use CSS instead.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
Have they made any like substantial size reductions on jQuery? Because I know in a lot of cases people are kind of going away from jQuery,
Yeah.
just to get away from the heft.
Yeah, they didn't say.
Which means no.
Yeah.
Are they working on a jQuery UI upgraded version too?
They didn't say.
Oh, really?
I get the feeling that this is a big deal for them, and they're kind of focusing on this for the moment. So, anything else?
Any idea when it will be released?
No. I literally looked on the blog today, hoping that they would have, betas next month or releases in 6 months or whatever, and there was nothing.
No roadmaps?
No. Not that I can find anyway.
Thank you.